They were just three little girls, Peyton, 9, Evelyn, 8, and Olivia, 5, full of life, laughter, and dreams. Their mother greeted them on May 30th, 2025, expecting a regular weekend visit with their father. But that simple act of love turned into the impossible nightmare of a lifetime. This is the case of Travis Decker. And this is Case Pinned. They left home in Wenatchee, Washington for a scheduled custody weekend. But when the clock hit 8 p.m., they hadn't returned, and neither had he. Fear gripped their mother's heart. Something was very wrong. The next days became a blur, frantic calls, desperate pleas, and a massive search. A white GMC Sierra lived in by the father was found near Rock Island Campground. Wheels abandoned, supplies inside, silence. Then the unthinkable. The bodies of 3 sisters suffocated, zip-tied, plastic bags over their heads, abandoned in a tent. The details are devastating. Plastic bags, zip ties, a crime that can only be described as horror. Their innocence stolen. Authorities say the girls were killed during that visitation, on a weekend that should have been normal. Their father, Travis Caleb Decker, a former Army Ranger, vanished into the wilderness. He became the hunted. A veteran with survival skills, possibly evading capture in the rugged Cascade Mountains of central Washington. A $20,000 reward was offered. Helicopters, K-9 units, the National Guard, all searching for the man responsible for one of the most heart-wrenching crimes to hit the state in years. Travis wasn't a stranger to suffering. Diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and PTSD, he had been struggling, homeless, living off his truck, unable to get help. His ex-wife, Whitney, had tried to limit his overnight visits. She begged for intervention, worried for their safety, but the system faltered. Whitney called him a broken man, not a monster. A father crushed by mental illness, believed she had seen no indication he would harm their daughters. But the next weekend, he did. The community reacted with shock, sorrow, and pain. GoFundMe support for Whitney soared past $1 million. Families mourned, parents held their children tighter. Voices cried out, "How did this happen? How could it be prevented?" Law enforcement, battered by guilt, acknowledged a misstep. No Amber Alert when the girls went missing. They vowed to change, to never let this ghost of a nightmare slip unnoticed again. Meanwhile, the hunt continues. Tired, careful hikers spotted a lone man near Kolchak Lake. A helicopter saw someone scramble off trail. It could be him. K-9 units and marshals comb through miles of wilderness. What remains is raw grief, unanswered questions, and 3 graves that stand as a solemn warning. Mental illness carries hidden dangers. Children are fragile. Trust can shatter in a moment. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia weren't extras in a dark story. They were the heart of it. Their laughter echoed in classrooms, dance recitals, soccer games. Those memories, they deserve justice. They deserve dignity. Whitney fights now not just for her daughters, but for change. She demands better support for veterans, stricter custody evaluation, mandatory alerts when children disappear. She doesn't want any mother to stand where she stands now, empty, haunted, heartbroken. This crime demands more than a spotlight. It demands souls to speak. It demands voices to rise. If you learned something here today, if your heart breaks like ours, share the story. Let it fuel empathy. Let it spark action. Because while we track a manhunt through mountains, let's first hold close the memories of 3 sisters who had everything to live for and lost it all on a day meant for love. They deserve no less than our truth. This is the kind of horror that doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people we trust most. If stories like this matter to you, if you believe in truth, justice, and exposing the darkness that hides in plain sight, subscribe to Case Pinned. Because we don't just tell stories, we pin them down.